It was a quiet evening in the town of San Juan, Argentina, when Carlos Sosa Rodríguez, a man of modest means and ordinary habits, stepped out of his home for what was meant to be a brief walk. His wife, Maria, recalled the moment vividly. He had simply said, "I'll be back soon," before vanishing into the warm summer air. But Carlos did not return that night. Nor did he return the next morning, or the days, weeks, and years that followed. The town searched endlessly for him. The police scoured every street, every field, and every riverbank. There were no signs of struggle, no reports of an accident, no farewell notes, just a man who had disappeared as if plucked from existence itself. As time passed, his wife grieved, his family moved on, and the case faded into whispers of old mystery. Then, 30 years later, on the very same date, in the very same town, Carlos returned. He appeared standing outside his old house, as if he had never left. His clothes were identical to those he had worn that fateful evening, unstained, unwrinkled, untouched by time. His face bore no signs of aging, his skin unweathered, his hair untouched by gray. He had the same cash in his wallet, the same worn-out house keys in his pocket. His fingerprints and dental records confirmed his identity. It was him. But impossibly, it was also still 1991 for him. Maria, now much older, gasped at the sight of her husband, looking precisely as she remembered him. The shock overwhelmed her. Carlos, confused, stepped forward. "Why are you looking at me like that?" he asked. "I was just out for a walk." Authorities intervened, believing it to be a hoax. But under scrutiny, the details refused to make sense. Carlos showed no signs of having aged. His medical exams showed that his body was that of a man 30 years younger than he should have been. Experts, doctors, even government officials took interest in the case, but no rational explanation could be found. Some whispered that he had stumbled into a rift in time, a gap between realities where the years had simply failed to pass for him. Others speculated alien abduction, claiming that Carlos had been taken, studied, and then returned exactly as he had been. A few even believed he had uncovered the secret to eternal youth, a secret he refused to share. As the world debated, Carlos withdrew. He avoided interviews, refused media attention, and sought solitude in a life that no longer felt his own. But then, in 2023, something even more unsettling happened. Carlos disappeared again. This time, there were no footprints, no witnesses, no clues. His home was empty, his belongings undisturbed. It was as if he had never returned at all. Did he slip through time once more? Was he taken again by whatever forces had held him for so long? Or had he simply been a fleeting ghost, a visitor from another reality? Sosa Rodríguez is still walking, lost between the seconds of time itself.